Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, I'm gonna be making a video on some Scream 6 news, some theories, more so. Today, we're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of theories and speculation that has came out lately. Some of it is from Tristan here on Twitter. Some of it is from ViewerAnon, and some of it is from a different article that we're going to be talking about towards the end of this video. And yeah, this is going to be fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And yeah, we're going to dive right into it. So Tristan yesterday had posted this on Twitter where it shows these supposed confirmed character descriptions that were confirmed by actual sources. It says Scream 6 character names revealed by publications. Josh Agara is David via Total Film. Jack Champion is Evan via Collider. And Tony Revolori is Gabe via Comic Book. And what's it called? I know Total Film and Collider and Comic Book. Those are like valid sources, and those are like actual sites as well. So this is where he got this from. I'm assuming is valid since it's coming from those sources. So yeah, he's basically showing all the character names. Josh Agara being David. I had already talked about that actually in my first reaction to the teaser trailer. When the teaser trailer had first dropped, I did a reaction to it, and I had mentioned how Josh Agara's name is supposedly David, and fans were speculating that they have Josh Agara's character name as David as kind of an homage to David Arquette, who played Dewey in this franchise. And I said that that's possible. Who knows? I mean, that's definitely possible, and it would be a cool homage and whatnot, but I don't know. I really don't know about that. But I did already know about that. Most of us did already. But basically Jack Champion as well, him being Evan, and then Tony Revolori, him being Gabe. So these are their character names in Scream 6. And apparently there was other character names too, like Carla is supposedly Leona Liberado's character. And Devon Nakota is her character is apparently Alicia. I don't know if those are true or not. Like, I really don't know, but all I know is that these three character names at least are confirmed. So we at least have that confirmation with these character names, at least. But everyone else though, all the other new characters that we're seeing in Scream 6, we don't know what their character name will be. So it'll be interesting once the full character list, like if we get the full like character, if we get the full on character description list like soon, that'll be cool just so we can see like what these newer characters' names are going to be in the film. So, yeah, it's interesting. And apparently, Tristan also posted this. It says, Tony Revolori makes an appearance in the Scream 6 teaser trailer during this quick shot. He's walking through the New York City streets on Halloween night. I wonder what could happen next. So, Tony Revolori was actually in the teaser trailer. He's wearing I think he's wearing the Blackmore University logo on his sweater, I think. I'm not too sure, but yeah, this is Tony Revolori. He was in the teaser trailer. I didn't even notice that he was in it, and he's walking at night on New York, and it's Halloween. I've seen some fans predict that maybe he's walking and he ends up getting killed down an alleyway or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, some fans are predicting him to be the opening kill, Tony Revolori. Like, they're predicting him to be the opening kill, but I really don't know. It could literally be anyone. But we got more context to this image a little bit more because ViewerAnon actually replied. He replied to my comment because I originally replied to Tristan on Twitter with this post. And I asked him, where did he get this picture from? How does he know that that's Tony Revolori? And then he replied to me saying that he got the news from ViewerAnon. And then ViewerAnon replied to me saying, yeah, I gave him this news and I told him he could post it. And then ViewerAnon ended up posting, he ended up quote tweeting on Twitter Tristan's reply, and he ended up replying to Tristan, which I'm going to show it here somewhere, I think. Yeah, right here. It says, seen a lot of speculation as to what's happening, where this is in the movie, etc. I'll just say Tara is in this scene. So Tara is, she is with Tony Revolori in this scene, I guess, and they're both with each other, and I guess they're this would be somewhere in the movie. And some fans are predicting it's in the opening scene. I don't think so. I mean, I've heard some, because there's some theories as well that came from ViewerAnon. Well, ViewerAnon had talked about it. I'm gonna get to there in a minute, but yeah, apparently Tara is gonna be in this scene with Tony Revolori's character, and yeah, I guess they're both gonna be, they're gonna have some interactions there, and it's kind of interesting because there's ViewerAnon posted something else, some other interesting news that kind of makes me question, like, why Tony Revolori and Tara's character would be together. And because ViewerAnon says something that made me question, like, I think I'm gonna try to find the comment. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. All right, so ViewerAnon in this tweet, he had said, Tara has a romance in the movie, and he was replying to someone else, because he was replying to someone who had asked him anything on Tara in the movie or anything about the teaser in general. And he replied to the comment saying, Tara has a romance in the movie. And then seeing this picture right here, and then ViewerAnon saying that Tara and Tony Revolori's character are together in this scene. We don't see her, but I'm assuming she's like, she will be with him. Like, when we see the movie, we're going to see what actually happens. And they're going to be together walking. And I'm assuming Tony Revolori's character is probably going to be some type of love interest to Tara, just based off of what ViewerAnon said here in this tweet, saying that Tara has a romance in the movie. And it'll be interesting, because imagine, let's just say that is the opening scene, right? And then Tony Revolori's character gets killed and Tara makes it out alive. And then that's the opening there. Because Tony Revolori, I don't think he was on the set for that long. I mean, him and Samara Weaving both got confirmed to be in the movie basically at the same time. But they were filming for a little while, though. But I feel like Samara Weaving, we actually got to see her more on set, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But I feel like Samara Weaving, I feel like, will have a bigger role than Tony Revolori. I feel like Tony Revolori's character is going to probably die a little more early on. And, you know, like, imagine imagine this, what he's saying here, that Tara has a romance in the movie, that Tara and Tony Revolori's character are both dating, and then they're both walking here in this picture together, and then this is part of the opening scene. Tony Revolori ends up getting killed, and then Tara escapes out alive. Like, that would be crazy. That would be a crazy opening. Or imagine Tony Revolori's character and Tara are both dating, And, maybe Sam is kind of like, she's kind of like a little bit, pushy and kind of like overprotective over Tara. And she's she's like, oh, like, I don't think you should trust, I don't think you should trust him. Because he might be a killer, like you can't really trust anyone. Like, imagine Sam is kind of like, because I've kind of predicted that before. I was like, that Sam would probably be overprotective over Tara. And, Tara having a romance, a love interest basically, would definitely be a good way to show Sam being overprotective, because Sam could be like, hey, like you probably shouldn't trust him, because what if he's the killer? Like, you know, like imagine we see scenes like that with Sam being overprotective over Tara and stuff. So I don't know, that's interesting. Another thing I want to talk about is hold on, because here ViewerAnon also said a few people have asked me in DMs, and I will say that that's the real killer with Mindy at the end. So ViewerAnon is talking about what ViewerAnon is talking about here in this tweet. He's talking about Mindy at the end of the teaser trailer, whenever she gets attacked by Ghostface. He's saying that the Ghostface killer that attacks Mindy at the end of the teaser trailer is the actual killer, which we were kind of wondering because, and even fans asked him himself, because he said it in this tweet, that fans were asking him that if it's the real killer that attacks Mindy in the teaser trailer. Like, we were wondering if it's the actual killer, or if it's a prankster. Like, what's going on here? Is it a dream sequence? Like, we were all wondering that, but ViewerAnon says it is the actual Ghostface killer who attacks Mindy in the subway train at the end of the teaser trailer that we see. So that, I just wanted to talk about that, to kind of reiterate myself, because I had already in my breakdown video where I was talking about the possibilities of Mindy dying, I had talked about this, but I didn't know for sure if Mindy was actually getting attacked by the real killer or not. But ViewerAnon says that she is getting attacked by the actual Ghostface killer. So it's not just some prankster or, some dream sequence or whatever. She does get attacked by the actual Ghostface killer. But I still think Mindy's not going to die, though. I think Mindy is, like I said in my last video, I think Mindy is just going to get attacked, and she's just going to, somehow make it out alive and whatnot. Like, she's going to escape, and, maybe the New Yorkers on the train ignore Mindy getting attacked because they think it's just a prank, or because, they'll probably just not want to help in general and just mind their own business. Like, I talked about that possibility as well. But I do think that somehow Mindy will make it out alive. And plus, like I pointed out in my last video too, that it doesn't even look like Ghostface has some sort of weapon. Like, it doesn't look like he has the knife or any sort of weapon with him when he's attacking Mindy in the teaser trailer. Like, I don't even see a weapon in his hand. So that's what makes me think that, who knows? Like, unless he has some type of freaking, he just randomly pulls out a sword out of his robes. He's and he just freaking stabs Mindy with it. Like, I mean, that would be crazy. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like there's a weapon with him. So I don't think he has any sort of thing to really, attack Mindy with other than his bare hands. So I think Mindy will, she'll make it out alive. She'll escape. And then after that, she'll leave the subway station and then meet up with Sam, Tara, and Chad outside the subway station, and they'll reunite, and Mindy will tell everyone, she'll tell Sam, Tara, and Chad what happened to her and how she got attacked and whatnot. I think that's what's going to happen with Mindy. I don't think she's going to die. Like, fans are trying to say Mindy's going to get killed and whatnot because of we see her getting attacked in the teaser trailer. Like, yes, it's possible she dies in this movie, but I don't think she ends up dying in the subway scene that we see in the teaser trailer. I think that's just gonna be a fake out, and they're just trying to make us, you know, they're trying to get a reaction out of us. Basically, I think that's all it is, and it's just gonna end up being a fake out, and that's just what I think. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going with here, and yeah, and another thing too is that ViewerAnon also said, "What the heck? It's Scream 6 Day." Sorry, it's what the heck? It's Scream 6 Day. One more thing, been told by multiple people, Chad is the surprise heart of the movie and has much more to do this time around. So, because this is interesting because we kind of, we kind of knew already that, because even ViewerAnon said it himself in the past. We had Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. Like, they both said how, this movie's gonna be gory, but also they talked about how they're gonna get more character development and chase scenes and all this stuff. And Jenna Ortega specifically also talked about how she's gonna actually, interact with Mindy and Chad in this film, because in the last movie, as we know, Tara didn't interact with Mindy and Chad in that movie, or her other friends too. So Jenna Ortega had said that we're gonna see Tara actually interact with Mindy and Chad more for Scream 6, and with her other friends as well. So, we know that the Scream 6 is gonna have more character development in terms of, developing Tara's relationship with Mindy and Chad and whatnot. So we know that Chad, he's gonna have a bigger role, and he was gonna play a bigger part. But however, fans are kind of predicting that, because ViewerAnon said this about him being the surprise heart of the movie and has much more to do this time around. I seen some fans predicting that, what if he dies? What if he ends up getting killed because of that? I've seen Fate Decided make a video on this too, on this exact thing that I'm talking about here with ViewerAnon's tweet right in this screenshot that you're seeing. Fate Decided talked about it as well, and he talked about the possibility of Chad dying because of him being the heart of Scream 6 and having a bigger part in Scream 6. Fate Decided talked about that possibility of him dying as well because of that. And I seen multiple fans predict, saying that, what if he's gonna die because he's gonna have a bigger role in Scream 6. I honestly, like I said, when it comes to, I said it with Mindy right now too. Like, Mindy or Chad, one of them could easily die in this film. That's definitely possible. However, I don't think just because of the Scream 6 teaser trailer where we see Mindy getting attacked, I don't think that proves that she's going to die though. And same thing here where ViewerAnon is saying that Chad is going to be the heart of the movie and he's going to have much more to do in Scream 6. I don't think that proves Chad is going to die either. It's the same thing here, that doesn't really prove anything. I get it. It's just theories, so I understand that. But I'm just saying, in general, it doesn't really prove that, Chad is going to die just because he's going to have a bigger role in Scream 6. That doesn't really prove anything. But I do think, in general, though, that it is possible that he does die, though. It definitely is possible that he dies or that Mindy dies. Who knows? Maybe, later on in the film, Chad ends up getting killed. Maybe towards the end, Chad gets killed. Or maybe Mindy gets killed, later on, after the whole subway sequence. Later on, she ends up getting killed. That's definitely possible too. Mindy wouldn't get killed in the subway train, but maybe later on in the film she actually does get killed though. like Mindy and Chad, either one of them, could die. Like that's not out of the realm of possibility. Like who knows? Maybe even both of them die. Like that's definitely possible too. Because honestly, if I'm predicting, the only members of the four returning characters from Scream 5 that I think are surviving for sure are Sam and Tara. Those are the only two that I think are surviving. With Mindy and Chad, though, I think all bets are off. Like, it's definitely possible that one of them could die. And, it's definitely possible. But I don't think Mindy getting attacked on the subway train, like how we saw in the teaser trailer, proves that, though. And I don't think this tweet by ViewerAnon, where he's saying that Chad is going to have a bigger role, proves that he's going to die either, But yeah, but like I said, it definitely is possible though that one of them dies. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that. But I mean, it's interesting to speculate though. It definitely is. My only thing is that I don't mind if they kill off Mindy or Chad, like whoever they choose to kill off. I don't mind if they kill off one of them. But as long as we get develop character development with them before they die, that's all I'll care about, at least. As long as they try to develop them before they try to kill them off, then I won't have a big issue with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically all I care about. Like if they develop, like let's just say they kill Mindy off, right? As long as they develop her character well in Scream 6 and they have they give her time to shine, and they have more of a central story with her character, and they make us care about her character even more, and they develop her very well. If they do that and then they kill off Mindy, then I won't really have a big deal with it, because at least they would have developed Mindy before she died. And but if they just kill her off, then I'll have a big issue with it, because you can't just kill off a returning character and just not develop them. Like that's just same thing if they were to kill Chad. They can't, if they're gonna kill Chad in Scream 6, you gotta develop them at least, before you kill him off. You can't just kill off returning characters and not try to develop them. So that's my only thing. Like I don't mind if one of them dies. It's just as long as they get developed before they get killed. That's basically my whole thing there. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this, because I've seen so many fans, they saw this tweet by ViewerAnon and they were like, oh my gosh, like does that mean that Chad is gonna die in Scream 6 because he has a bigger role? And I'm just like, that doesn't prove he's gonna die. Like, yes, it is possible, but him having a bigger role in Scream 6 doesn't mean he's gonna die, though. Like, not every character in the Scream franchise that had a bigger role in a movie has died in it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But it's interesting to speculate, like I said. And also here, if you saw, because I forgot to bring it up, but ViewerAnon had also, whenever he was talking about Mindy and how the real killer is at the end, is with Mindy at the end in the teaser trailer when she gets attacked, someone commented to his tweet and said, is that Kirby on the train? And ViewerAnon replied saying, she's not with the group at that time. So, because I seen a lot of fans speculate, and even I myself speculated. I was like, is that Kirby on the train because if you look at the teaser trailer, there's this girl we see with the leather black jacket that we see with Kirby, that Kirby's wearing in this picture right here. The black leather jacket with the blonde hair. We saw like a girl who's in the subway, on the subway train in the teaser trailer, wearing that same outfit standing next to Tara, but you could barely see them because the camera is like not fully angled onto them, but you could barely see them. And a lot of fans were speculating, oh, it's like, is that Tara? Is that Kirby standing next to Tara in that scene? And, but ViewerAnon says in this tweet when he's that he was replying to someone else with, saying that she's not with the group at that time. So he's basically saying that that's not actually Kirby that we see on the subway train in the teaser trailer that's standing next to Tara. So I guess, she doesn't end up Kirby doesn't end up meeting with Sam, Tara, Mindy, and Chad until later on, whenever we see them in this subway. Not in this, in the theater / museum. That's when Kirby meets up with them. And I guess that's when they introduce each other and whatnot. And we don't know what time of the film this will be at either. Whenever they're all here in this theater / museum, this could be like in the beginning of the film or the middle or the end. I'm predicting it's probably in the middle, but who knows? We don't really know. But Kirby is set to have a bigger role, so we know that for sure. But ViewerAnon basically, he said that that's not Kirby who's standing next to Tara in the teaser trailer. So at least we know that. And so then someone else asked ViewerAnon, saying, anything on Samara Weaving's character? Is she going to live or die? ViewerAnon replied saying, I'll say that she earns her living as a film professor at Blackmore University. So he basically confirmed right here that Samara Weaving is going to be a film professor in Scream 6, which is interesting, because I didn't really know for sure if Samara Weaving's character was actually going to have any type of role in this movie. I knew, because there were speculations of her being the opening scene kill, and I was kind of like, it's possible, but I don't really think so. I thought, she would probably just kind of be like a minor background character, like kind of how like CC Cooper was in Scream 2. I kind of thought that that's how Samara Weaving's character would be, kind of. But ViewerAnon says here that, she's a film professor at Blackmore University. So, that's interesting. I did not expect to. I guess that kind of makes sense. Because we did see a picture a few months ago with Samara Weaving wearing like a green neon outfit, similar to Gail Weathers' outfit that she wore in Scream 1. I'm pretty sure you guys know what picture I'm talking about. And it looked like Samara Weaving was wearing headphones around her neck. And we all thought that was probably like a behind the scenes photo, right? But now I'm starting to think like, what if that was like, they were like filming on a stage set, and they had like Samara Weaving was like, she was like the film professor, that, and she was the one, she's like, that's what they were, that's the scene they were filming there, with Samara Weaving being the film professor, and she's on this and she's like backstage or whatever. I don't know. That was just a behind the scenes photo, so I really don't know what I can get off of there, but this is just a theory, it's speculation. But I do think it is interesting, though, in general, to see her as a film professor. Kind of like how in Scream 2, when Sydney was in theater class, and she was at the college, and she was in that theater class, and she was doing a whole play and whatnot. So I think Samara Weaving will be, instead of her being like, maybe Tara and Chad and Mindy are in that theater class, and they're doing a play, and Samara Weaving is their film professor. I think that's what's gonna happen here. And that's interesting. I don't know. Like imagine, because in Scream 2, whenever Sydney was getting attacked by Ghostface was blending in with the other masked um, characters that were in that scene. And Ghostface was just wearing that brown outfit, trying to blend in. And Sydney saw the actual killer, Ghostface killer, and she got scared. And what's it called? Like she got scared, and but then Ghostface ran away, and we were just wondering like what happened? Like what is she like? Well, the characters in the movie were wondering what happened to her. Like why did she scream? And like what if Mindy, Tara, and Chad are in that play, and Samara Weaving, she's the professor. They're doing the whole play and whatnot, and then like maybe the actual killer comes. Like what if they're wearing like costumes as well, and they look similar to the Ghostface costumes, and the actual killer comes in with a similar costume blending in again, like how in Scream 2, and he actually he kills like maybe a random innocent character that was part of the play. And Samara Weaving's character, who's the film professor, is just like, she probably thinks it's a prank or something, and then they realize that then Ghostface runs away, and all the characters realize that that was an actual killer, and some innocent guy just got killed and whatnot during the play. Like imagine that were to happen, similar to Scream 2's opening scene with the movie theater, but it could be played out a little differently. I don't know. This is just kind of like a pitching theory. Like I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but imagine that were to happen though. Like that would be crazy. But I don't know. Her being a film professor in general, interesting and glad to know. And I think Samara Weaving will have at least a decent prominent role in this movie. I do think she will, and she'll probably be a red herring too. Like I said many times, I do think she'll be a red herring too, and it's interesting. But now we're gonna get into the later stuff that had from news that just came out recently. ViewerAnon also talked about Kirby and Mindy talking about Stu in Scream 6. Because I guess fans were asking him, can you give us some Scream 6 news? And then he was like, and then he tweeted, Kirby and Mindy talk about Stu in Scream 6. There, are you happy, you animals? And he said it so sarcastically. But yeah, and then I saw in the comments replying to ViewerAnon, some fans were like, oh, why would they mention Stu? Is it because you like? Because I of course, whenever you say something like this, you're gonna get the Stu fans all hyped up and whatnot, and they're gonna go crazy over this and try to be like, oh, is it because they're mentioning him as kind of like a clue that he's out there somewhere or whatever. Like I saw theories like that going around because of what ViewerAnon said here. But I mean, but ViewerAnon also said, because you got to remember, ViewerAnon also talked about how the characters in Scream 6 will talk about all the past killers in this franchise. Because yeah, he did say that. ViewerAnon said that Kirby, Sam, Tara, and Chad, and Mindy, and all the other characters, they're all going to be talking and referencing every past killer in this franchise. Because you know how in this franchise, they really only mention... hold on, I'll be right back, guys. Hold on. There, and then, wait, my bad, guys. I had to go do something real quick. But anyways, so there, like, he basically said how, they're basically they reference, and the characters in Scream 6 will reference all the past killers in this franchise. Because we only ever got references to Billy and Stu in this franchise. Like, every killer in this franchise and character in this franchise only ever references, they only ever reference Billy and Stu. And we would always just be left wondering, like, why? Why only Billy and Stu? Why does every character and killer in this franchise only talk about Billy and Stu, and they're so obsessed with Billy and Stu? Why don't we ever get a reference to any other killer in this franchise? But then ViewerAnon, like a month ago, had confirmed that the characters in Scream 6 will reference every killer in this franchise. So Billy, Stu, Mickey, Mrs. Loomis, Roman, Charlie, Jill, Richie, and Amber, all the killers in this franchise will be referenced in Scream 6 by the newer characters. So that's interesting. But that kind of gets into play with my point here, is that Kirby and Mindy talking about Stu in Scream 6 could easily be them, because they're talking about all the killers. They're, because like I said, they're going to reference every killer in this franchise. The characters in Scream 6 will reference every killer in this franchise. So therefore, since Stu is one of the killers in this franchise, of course they're going to reference him as well. They're not going to just specifically talk about Stu or Mickey, or they're going to reference every killer. They're going to talk about all the killers. So I think that's why Kirby and Mindy talk about Stu. That's why ViewerAnon said that Kirby and Mindy talk about Stu, is because of that. I mean, he kind of left it out of context, so I get it. He didn't really explain much, but I think that's what he means here, is because they're referencing all the past killers, so that's why Kirby and Mindy are talking about Stu. It's not necessarily because they're trying to hint at him being out there or whatever. I've been seeing those theories run around, but I'm just saying that it could easily be because they're referencing all the other killers too. And since Stu is part of the killers in this franchise, of course they would reference him as well. But I mean, I don't know. Theories are going to be theories, so it's whatever with fans. But, and another thing too is that we got this interview, or not interview. Well, it was an interview. Collider had an interview with Kevin Williamson, and Kevin Williamson had said that in this interview with Collider, saying that he confirms that yes, Stu is dead. And I read the article, and then it was basically just Kevin Williamson saying that, oh yes, he is dead, Stu is dead. I think fans only are talking about this because of Matthew Lillard being in the background of Scream 2, but he was only there because he was visiting set that night. And he was just like a little cameo, And that's basically what Kevin Williamson had said. And, here's the thing, though. I know another thing, too, is because, I've seen a lot of divisive, just opinions on this, because, fans will serve left and right here when it comes to this. Because I'm someone who obviously, I don't want Stu back. I don't want Stu back, and I don't think he should come back at all. I talked about that many times already, but I will admit though that it is kind of weird that Kevin Williamson only brought up the fact he only brought up fans thinking that Stu is not that because Kevin Williamson only brought up that fans think he's coming back because of Matthew Lillard being in the background of Scream 2. Like, it's kind of strange that Kevin Williamson would only bring up that, considering that the main reason why, because that's not even the main reason why fans think Stu's coming back. It's not because Matthew Lillard. I mean, yes, I've seen fans point that out. Like, I've seen some fans point out, like, oh, Matthew Lillard was in the background of Scream 2. That means Stu is still out there. And, you know, I don't really find that argument really, you know, like really anything. But I do think, like I said, I do think it's strange though that Kevin Williamson did say that that's the reason why fans think he's coming back is because they saw him in the background of Scream 2. But he didn't mention the main reason why fans think he's coming back. And the main reason why is because Kevin Williamson himself was originally going to bring Stu back in Scream 3. And that's why fans think he's coming back. It's not really because of the whole Matthew Lillard being in the background of Scream 2, you know, as a cameo because he was visiting set that night. You know, like it's not because of that. It's because he himself was going to bring back Stu in Scream 3. But then the whole thing, you know, a lot of production issues happened, the studio interference, and, you know, it just, a whole bunch of messy stuff happened. That's why, you know, Stu ended up never coming back. The idea ended up getting scrapped out of the script, basically. So, you know, that's why it never happened. But Kevin Williamson didn't mention that in his interview. He just said, oh, yeah, fans think he's coming back because of Matthew Lillard being in the background of Scream 2. When that's not even the main reason. It's because he himself was literally going to bring him back in Scream 3. So I do find that weird that Kevin Williamson did not mention the fact that he himself was going to bring Stu back in Scream 3. I do find that weird. However, I still think he's not coming back, though. Just in general, like, because, I mean, I've believed that he wasn't coming back even before Kevin Williams had said anything. So this doesn't really mean anything to me. But yeah, I don't think he's coming back in general either way. Like, regardless if Kevin Williamson were to say this or not, I still would have never believed he was coming back anyway. So yeah, that's my thing there. And yes, I've seen fans and YouTubers and whatnot say that, oh, Kevin Williamson is lying and he's just saying this just to say it, and you know, and he's basically just trying to trick us. I mean, like I said, it's all just theory. So I mean, it's not really a big deal when I see stuff like, you know, being said like that. But I'm just saying, you know, I feel like we gotta, you know, not every fan, but at least some of the fans that I'm seeing lately, because you know, there's some fans who I feel like are, you know, they're a little bit, you know, too intimate with these theories of him coming back. And it's fine if you want him back, right? Because, like, I'm someone who doesn't want him back. And if you want him back, that's fine. But I do think some fans are a little bit too into these theories of him coming back. And if it doesn't happen, I can tell these fans are going to be... Some of these fans are just going to be so disappointed, and they're probably going to hate on the movie. And they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, this movie sucks and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's just like... I don't know. Like, I just feel like some fans need to just pause a little bit, you know, just kind of, you know, not, like, yes, you can believe he's coming back, but you can't necessarily say that as a fact. Like, yes, he is going to come back, you know, because it's definitely possible that he doesn't come back. And, you know, I feel like, you know, for anyone who does want him back, you still have to hold on to the possibility of him not coming back. Because if it doesn't happen, then you won't be as disappointed, because at least you would have had that expectation of him not coming back, of him possibly not coming back, you know? Versus if you were to just fully believe he is coming back and then it never happens, and then now you're going to be disappointed, and you're probably going to hate on the film. You're probably going to hate on Scream 6, or if it doesn't happen in Scream 7, you're going to hate on Scream 7. Like, it's like you got to hold your expectations. You got to hold your just your theories. Like, you can believe he's coming back, but I mean, you can't fully believe it as like it's gonna actually happen as a fact or something. You can't necessarily do that and then expect it to happen, because if it doesn't, you're gonna be disappointed. And I can tell that that's what's gonna happen with some of these fans who are so into these two theories. Like, I can just tell that that's most likely what's gonna happen. And yesterday actually, I was on the Lethal Collective stream, and Craven Something Scary was talking about Stu and whatnot, and Fate was talking about it, and Craven, he brought up, he I can at least I give him just like props for being, because he's not one of those Stu fans, that I just mentioned right now, where, if it doesn't happen with Stu coming back, Craven himself has said that he's not going to just hate on Scream 6 or Scream 7 just because Stu doesn't return. Like, yes, he wants it to happen, but he's not going to just crap on the film if it doesn't happen, though. And, I can at least appreciate Craven for, being honest and, at least holding out that possibility of it not happening, even if he does want it to happen. But he's still, not trying to say it as a fact, like, oh, yes, Stu is returning and whatnot, because, like, that's basically what I'm trying to say, Craven Something Scary is not, yes, he wants Stu back, but he's not one of those, those other Stu fans that are like, they want him back and they believe he's coming back as 100% fact, and they believe that that's what's going to happen. Craven, he said himself many times, like, yes, he wants him back, but he knows it's possible that it could not happen, though. And he said himself too many times that if it doesn't happen, he's not going to just hate on Scream 6 or Scream 7 just because it didn't happen. He's still going to enjoy the movie for what it is either way. So I appreciate, Craven, saying that, because at least he's being honest, and, he's not, being, like one of those other fans, he's like some of the other fans that I've seen that do want Stu back, and they're just like, they believe it so wholeheartedly, and like, they believe he's coming back so wholeheartedly to the point where they believe it as a fact. And then if it doesn't happen, they're gonna be disappointed and hate on the film. But Craven, Craven Something Scary, he said he's not going to do that if it doesn't happen, because he knows that it's possible that it could not happen. So, it's that's all I'm saying is that, that's basically my point, is that, you got to hold that expectation and, and the theories of him possibly not coming back, because it definitely is possible. So, like, that's basically what I'm trying to say here, and that's my whole point, is that, and that's why I said as well that some fans need to hold their expectations, because not all of them, not all Stu fans who want him back are like this. Not all of them were like, oh yeah, Stu's coming back and it's 100% fact and he's definitely coming back, and and then if it doesn't happen, they're just gonna hate on the film and whatnot. Like, not all Stu fans who want him back are gonna be like that, or are like that in general right now. You know, like there's Stu fans out there that want him back, that still hold on to the possibility that it is possible that he doesn't come back, and you know, they would still enjoy the movie even if he doesn't come back. So that's why I said only some fans need to hold their expectations, because not every Stu fan who wants him back, you know, has these high expectations, but some of them do, and those are the ones that I'm aiming it towards. You know, like that's who I'm speaking it towards. Like, you know, these fans, some of these fans that have those high expectations of him coming back, is like, bro, like, you know, it's possible that he doesn't come back, and if it doesn't happen, like, you're most likely just gonna hate on the film. And that's, I don't know, man. Even Killjoy Jake, he made a video talking about this too, about Kevin Williamson, and you know, about him confirming Stu is dead and whatnot. And Killjoy Jake is probably one of the first YouTubers that I saw, from the ones that I watch, that actually said that, oh yes, I believe Kevin Williamson, and whatnot. Because I feel like most of the other YouTubers I've seen said, you know, oh yeah, Kevin Williamson is just tricking us and whatnot. But Killjoy Jake said that he believes Kevin Williamson. Like, but the thing with me though is that like I said, I've always believed Stu was never coming back to begin with. So Kevin Williamson saying this doesn't really add on to anything. Like, I've always believed he wasn't coming back to begin with. So it's not like, you know, I'm just believing Kevin Williamson because I've always believed Stu was never coming back to begin with, you know? So that's the thing with me, you know? I've always believed he was never coming back. So, you know, Kevin Williamson saying this doesn't really confirm anything, because, like, I've always believed Stu was never coming back. So, you know, this doesn't really, you know, change my opinion. So, yeah, you know, and just in general with the whole Stu thing, like I said, it's like, it's to me, I've already explained, like, probably twice already, why I don't think it makes sense for Stu to come back. But like I said, if you want Stu back, that's fine. You know, you can have your opinion. Everyone's allowed to believe what they want, and that's how it should be. Because I've seen fans on both sides of the spectrum, from those who do want him back and those who don't want him back, just attack each other constantly from both sides. And it's just like, it's just a movie at the end of the day. It's just theories. We can all, like, whether you believe he's coming back or not, we should all respect each other's opinions. So that's basically, you know, what I'm trying to get at here. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think though, about everything I said in this video. Like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And actually, I was about to end it real quick, but I just want to say, because I did see Craven Something Scary's video that he made last night too. Bro, his video was so good. It was about comparing the age, the old Ghostface mask that has the cracks and it's all worn out, the one that we saw in the Scream 6 teaser trailer, and the one from this picture right here with Ghostface with the shotgun, and the one from this picture as well. Craven Something Scary made a whole video last night where he was comparing all the previous killers' masks in this franchise, and basically saying what Scream movie this mask could be from. Because I said it before too, like, it's possible that this old age mask could literally be from any Scream movie in this franchise. You know, it doesn't just have to be the first one, like how some fans were thinking. And Craven Something Scary made a whole video saying how last night about how, you know, he thinks that this old aged mask that we're seeing in Scream 6 could be from Scream 4. And it was an interesting theory video. It honestly was. I think I think I might honestly make a video as well about that, and give my predictions, like where I think this killer who's wearing this mask in Scream 6, this old agent mask, what mask this could be from in this franchise. I think I'm probably gonna do that as well. So, but yeah, go check out that video from Craving Something Scary, because it was an interesting video, interesting theory and whatnot. Like I said, like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Really hope you guys enjoy this video, and I see you guys in the next video. Peace.